Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. A bit ago, I saw a video that kind of got me thinking about something that has been a thing in the watch world for a bit now, and I never really thought a whole lot about it, but maybe I should. Let me explain. We live in a world of throwaway items. You know, a world where companies intentionally shorten the lifespan of their products, and this isn't anything new. This has been happening for a long time. In fact, back in the day when cars were new, the fact that once people buy a car, it lasts so long they don't need to buy another one for a very long time. And to deal with that, companies would put out new exciting colors. So people would have to get the latest thing. We see similar things with phones, where they'll have a minor upgrade to them, but everyone feels like they have to go out and get the latest phone because of it. And there may be a little bit of lifespan shortening involved in phones. I feel like after a couple of years, the phones just kind of start to lag and get really slow and terrible. So they might have intentional lifespans. Then there was the old Xbox thing where Xboxes would just kind of die at a certain point. So with mechanical watches, it's refreshing because they fly in the face of all of this. A mechanical movement could last into pretty much perpetuity if it's properly serviced, and when parts break, if those could be manufactured or hand built by a watchmaker. I've seen that done. And it was an amateur watchmaker doing it, and he was able to create a part that a movement needed. I mean, my pull router is from the 50s and it's still going strong. Knock on wood, its movement is performing excellent. And of course there's my Tudor, which is probably from the 60s, I think, and it performs better on a time grapher than some of my contemporary watches. When I first got that watch from a good friend of mine, I put it on the time grapher and it was at 0 to 1 second off a day. And it had great amplitude and no beat error. I mean, it was outperforming any contemporary watch that I have in my watch box. However, there is something kind of controversial going on with mechanical watches, and that is the existence of the silicone hairspring. And I have to admit, I didn't think a whole lot of it. I just kind of figured when they break, it's kind of like any other part in a watch movement that breaks. You have to find a replacement. But it might be worse than that. I mean, when you have your watch serviced, say every 5 years, maybe every 10 years, do those have to be replaced every time it's serviced? I'm not sure. But I recently saw a video by a watchmaker that I watch all the time, and he was kind of disgusted at the silicone hairsprings. He made a few comments about them like, ugh, no. And that was what really got me thinking about it. Why take something like a watch movement that's designed to just go and go and go for decades, maybe a century even, and put something throwaway in it? It's almost like, as much as I love them, taking a bit of a swatch component, which is throwaway, non-repairable, kind of garbagey, even though I love them, and put that component, invade a timeless piece of engineering with this throwaway piece. It seems odd to me. And why? So that it doesn't become magnetized? Is magnetism really that much of a problem? I think I've had one watch that's gotten magnetized, and I just bought a demagnetizer and that helped quite a bit. And if you send it off to a watch repair shop, they can deal with that as well. Much better than I can. I mean, it's a problem, but are you going to ruin a movement to solve that problem? But then again, I could be completely wrong. What do you guys think of the silicone hairspring? Is this the end of mechanical movements as we know it? Or is it really not that big a deal? I mean, just replace the part when it's being serviced? To me, having to rely on that so much seems bad. I mean, you could potentially have a movement where the wheels and components inside of it last for decades and decades and decades. So there isn't really that much of a reliance on replacing them. But a part like this, I feel like that's much more frequent. But I don't know, maybe we can have a discussion about this in the comments of this video. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on this because, like I said, this really wasn't anything that I thought about at all. I never shied away from a watch because I thought it might have a silicone hairspring in it. But now I don't know, I might. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.